Isekai.
Rebirth of the Malicious Empress of Military Lineage. Chapter 175. Great Waves. His kisses were hot but the silver mask was cold, as if it was carrying some unspeakable emotions that overwhelmed heavens and earth. The more Shen Miao struggled, the more tighter he held her and locked her in his arms and took her lips like making an oath. The flowers bloomed in winter, the butterflies flying in autumn, the ice springs in summer and the snowflakes in spring could not describe the bizarreness of this moment. There was the sound of wind by one's ears, but that beautiful youth's hug was strong and his kisses was burning, as if one had exhausted one life and could not escape. When Zi Jingxing let go of Shen Miao almost went limp and could not breathe. In the previous life, she desired Fu Ziyu, but from the beginning till the end was a one-sided enthusiasm. Even during Fu Ziyu's wedding night, it was just a perfunctory gesture. She had never been this intimate with any man. Shen Miao flew into a rage out of humiliation as she felt that she had lost her self-control just now. Zi Jingxing supported her so that she would not fall as she glared angrily at Zi Jingxing. However, she did not know what after she was being kissed just now. Her eyes were almost watery, with eyes full of life and charming with a blushing face and red lips like petals. It made one want to feel tenderness towards. Zi Jingxing covered it up and looked away. Other than being embarrassed and angry, Shen Miao was a little overwhelmed and did not know what to do. In all fairness, her heart more or less expected this scenario. As to why did she not block it or let it develop? It was because her heart had unconsciously reacted to it, but Shen Miao did not want to go into the reason behind it. Talk about your marriage. Zi Jingxing had restored that frivolous tone of voice. What is your plan now? Shen Miao looked at him unfathomably. What plans? Zi Jingxing looked at her with squinted eyes and spoke in a somewhat dangerous tone. The Crown Prince, Lu Ling, Feng Zixian, Su Mingfeng and Pei Lang, who do you want to marry to? Shen Miao frowned and had a serious look of consideration. Zi Jingxing's eyes coagulated and his tone was unkind. You really want to marry to someone else? Why can't I marry someone else? After kissing me, touching me, you still dare to make me wear a green hat? Shen Miao, you really have the nerves. Shen Miao smiled slightly. You cannot be thinking to let me marry you? You are finally smart for once. Zi Jingxing said unhurriedly. Shen Miao was startled. It was not that she did not think about the relationship with Zi Jingxing before. Both of them are allies, but they were more ambiguous than allies. About matters between male and female, though one had not eaten any pork, one at least saw pigs running. On those nights when her heart beat that quickly, Shen Miao discovered some things. However, this did not mean that Zi Jingxing could marry her. Zi Jingxing is Prince Ruai of Great Liang and she was a daughter of Ming Qi's general. Not to mention that Ming Qi's side would not agree to it. One feared that it would not be easy to explain to Emperor Yongli's side. Especially in the current situation, Zi Jingxing has a high status in Great Liang, and the greater the power he has, it meant that Emperor Yongli valued Zi Jingxing heavily. There would be many things that one would not be able to act independently when being valued heavily by an emperor. This included one's own marriage. Just as Shen Miao was still distracted, she heard Zi Jingxing saying, "You do not have to worry about anything and just embroider the wedding dress obediently in the room and wait for me." When did I promise to marry you? Shen Miao retorted back with a question. Oh? Zi Jingxing thought about it a little and a smile appeared on his lips. I also don't mind turning the raw ice into cooked one tonight. Shen Miao looked at him in vigilance, but Zi Jingxing laughed. You look like you are looking forward to it. Shen Miao decided not to speak to Zi Jingxing about it. This person appeared genuine but was actually devious and would speak obscenities in every 3 sentences. She said, with regards to the Crown Prince matter, I have an idea. Zi Jingxing raised his eyebrow. You have a countermeasure early on? Suddenly thought about it. Shen Miao stressed, need your help. Need my help? Zi Jingxing smiled lightly and whispered to her. This husband will help you, Shen Miao. When Shen Miao returned back to the Shen mansion from the residence of Prince Ruai, The skies were almost in the early hours of morning. Naturally it was Zi Jingxing who brought her back, and when he came to know that Shen Miao climbed over walls when coming over, Zi Jingxing laughed till Shen Miao almost got angry. However, as this night passed, there were many things that had quietly changed. During the discussion with Zi Jingxing in the residence of Prince Ruai on the countermeasures against the Crown Prince's marriage, Shen Miao had a strange feeling. All the while when she was in the road of revenge, she was always alone, and now unfathomably having a strong enough backing, it made her feel secure. Especially this support was intelligent and could see the loopholes in her countermeasures in a glance and propose improvements. Shen Miao felt that their partnership was very cooperative. Unconsciously the words that Zi Jingxing had said during the night floated up in Shen Miao's mind. Just embroider the wedding dress obediently. Zi Jingxing was one who would look at certain things casually, but what Princess Rongzin said was correct. He knew what he wanted and did not want from the very beginning, and Shen Miao was not clear how much words that Zi Jingxing said was true. However, on the matter of Shen Miao's marriage, Zi Jingxing had revealed his absolute strength and tyranny that no one had any room to refute. Shen Miao sighed again. The road ahead was long and the muddy waters of Mingqi was not cleaned yet. This was just too extravagant to mention about one's feelings. Counter-soldier with arms and water with earth. If Zi Jingxing really had that ability and he dared to marry the daughter of another country's general, then there was no reason for her not to dare to marry. Her lips were slightly tingling in pain, as if there was still a lingering heat on it which made her lower her head. The mouth that could not deny and the heartbeat that could not be suppressed. That youth was handsome and beautiful, and was intelligent and decisive. It was difficult for anyone not to be tempted. In the residence of Prince Ting, the lanterns were brightly lit the entire night. After Fu Ziyu knew that Shen Miao's and the Crown Prince's marriage was suppressed because Prince Ruai unintentionally mentioned that one sentence. On this night, all the aides had reached the residence of Prince Ting and discuss about this matter from the beginning to the end. I had guessed that the relationship between Shen Miao and Prince Ruai was not that simple. Now, after using the Crown Prince to test, the cloven foot had been revealed. Fu Ziyu laughed coldly. Once anything happened to Shen Miao, Prince Ruai will not be able to sit still. Pei Lang stood beneath and did not say a single word. These days Fu Ziyu had changed his treatment to him and would not ask for his opinions on many things. Because the contrast before and after was too great, other aides noticed it and thought that Pei Lang had offended Fu Ziyu and took joy in his misfortune. However, Pei Lang knew that as Fu Ziyu was an intelligent person, for him to inexplicably neglect him, he must have discovered some clues, or perhaps his relations with Shen Miao was discovered by Fu Ziyu. Even though his heart was on fire, Pei Lang did not display even a little of it. Fu Ziyu still did not drop all pretenses, so it meant that he had his own intentions, or perhaps he only suspected it but it was not confirmed yet. A full set of show must be performed when acting, and one could not abandon it halfway. Pei Lang knew this truth well and only portrayed the reaction of a normal aide that was being shunned. What is Gentleman Pei's view on it? For the first time, Fu Ziyu asked for his opinion. Pei Lang's heart moved and dropped his head to say, "This subordinate thinks that one should immediately investigate on the relationship between the Shen family and Prince Ruai or Great Liang. Shen Miao's position is special as she represents Mingqi's most important military power. If there is some private agreement between the Shen family and Prince Ruai, one fear." The aides started discussing. Even though they were not satisfied with Pei Lang, they did not admit that Pei Lang's words were incorrect. Shen Miao was after all a young female and not a great beauty that could overthrow cities and ruin states. It is better to say that Prince Ruai valued the Shen family behind Shen Miao than to say that Prince Ruai targeted for a beauty. This was then reasonable. Fu Ziyu said, "Gentleman said it correctly, but today I have heard something." Everyone was waiting for him to say the words next. Shen Miao had spent the entire day in the residence of Princess Rongzin. The princess's health had not been good all the time, but she still held her till at night. It seems that after Shen Miao departed, the princess's mood was also not good. Fu Ziyu smiled. Could it be that the princess knew something? After a moment of silence, An aide said. Perhaps Princess Rongzin had inside information. Your Highness may wish to start with Princess Rongzin's end and perhaps there would be some little clues. I too think like this. Fu Ziyi looked at Pei Lang and one was not sure if he was purposely saying it for him to hear. Even though behind Shen Miao that is the big backing of the Shen family, she is very eccentric. Prince Ruai only lend a helping hand to her every matters, so there must be some hidden motive. If Princess Rongzin is also involved then the matter would become interesting. Paper cannot wrap fire. I must uncover the secret between them. Fu Ziyi smiled meaningfully. One have to rely on all of you. Everyone responded that they didn't dared and Pei Lang lowered his head but felt a little uneasiness in his heart. This night, the princess' residence was not at all peaceful. Princess Rongxing had sat in Xinjiang Yuan for the entire night. Xi Jingxing did not die and instead became the Prince Ruai of Great Liang. This was something that Princess Rongzin had never expected. In the past 2 years, Princess Rongzin had countlessly hoped that one day she would discover that Xi Jingxing's death was just a dream and also hoped that when she woke up that handsome and proud youth would still be standing in front of him and call out Rongyi lazily. However, when the actual moment arrived, Princess Rongzin's first thought was not gratification. He wore a noble purple gold robe and the corner of the robes were embroidered with a flying dragon with gold threads. He wore a cold mask and greeted her with familiarity but with a title of Prince Ruai. That was the biggest threat for Mingqi. Princess Rongzin originally was angry due to the deceit and cover-up, but once she realized the true identity of Xi Jingxing, Princess Rongzin's instinctive reaction was to be vigilant. This did not mean that the many years of relationship with Xi Jingxing was false, but because of one another's position in politics. She was the princess of Mingqi and pride and suspicion of the imperial family would always appear at such times. She wrote a letter at the table to warn Emperor Wenhu and stopped halfway before tearing the paper into small pieces. The entanglement and complication in her heart had poured over to her face, but she was not willing to see Xi Jingxing again because she did not know how to face him. The initial part of Princess Rongzin's suspicion was that Xi Jingxing did not die, so how would he become Prince Ruai, the blooded younger brother of Emperor Yongle of Great Liang? Prince Ruai's name was obviously not something that could be used casually. Was Xi Jingxing originally a person from Great Liang, or was he bought over by Great Liang by coincidences? If it was the former then it was still excusable, but if it was the latter then Xi Jingxing had committed treason. Xi Jingxing was not close to Xi Ding and one would not be successful if one asked Xi Ding. Shen Miao must know some stuff, but Shen Miao would definitely not say anything. Since Xi Jingxing was also protecting her, it was not easy for Princess Rongxing to touch her. After thinking about it, Princess Rongzin finally thought of someone. Grew up together when Xi Jingxing was in his childhood, with good relations between both families, and was considered to be Xi Jingxing's best friends in Mingqi. Because they grew up together and spend most of the time together, there would be times when one would be able to see the differences with Xi Jingxing. The heir of the Count of Pingnan, Su Mingfeng. Princess Rongxing instructed the servants to bring an invitation over. As the days passed, it got closer to the end of the year. The commoners were starting to rush to purchase New Year's goods and thus the streets would be filled with bustle every day. Life would go on smoothly, so normal people would not be able to know what was in the minds of noble people. It was like how the eagle and sparrow saw the skies. It was destined to be different. Ever since Emperor Wenhua had been shocked by the wildly ambitious casual chat with Prince Ruai, he was more and more inclined with an alliance with Qin country. It was just till now there was no conclusion to Princess Ming'an's case, thus there was still a line between them. However, with Emperor Wenhua's increased sincerity, Huang Fuhao's attitude was somewhat softened. All the different departments of Mingqi's official could be dispatched by Huang Fuhao, that even the Bureau of Investigations would time to time be interrogated by Huang Fuhao. No matter what the result was, Emperor Wenhua had gave Huang Fuhao enough face. Even though one was unable to discover the cause of Princess Ming'an's death, Huang Fuhao did not think that Ming Qi deliberately covered it up since he had witnessed the process of the investigation. It might be that Princess Ming An had offended some powerful character, else how would there be no traces left, not mentioning about the matter with Princess Ming An. The words that Prince Ruai said to Emperor Wenhua finally reached to Huang Fuhao's ears. If one were to say from the beginning that Huang Fuhao represented Qin country, he clearly had the intention to form an alliance with Ming Qi but purposely put up airs in an attempt to seek more personal benefits. When he heard the words from Prince Ruai, Huang Fuhao could not sit still. If Prince Ruai represented Great Liang and really had the intention get the few cities that produces ore in Ming Qi, just like what Emperor Wenhua worried, Great Liang would not need those mere cities but the entire Ming Qi. That meant that Ming Qi was in danger. Without the lips, the teeth would feel the cold. Just one Qin country was not power enough to deal with Great Liang. Moreover, it would be the Great Liang that had absorbed Ming Qi's military, weapons and wealth. At that time when Great Liang take care of Qin country, the Qin country would not have strength to fight. The purpose of the alliance between Qin country and Ming Qi was to contain Great Liang. Huang Fuhao sent this information back to Qin country. Even though the Emperor of Qin was furious that he had lost a princess in Ming Qi without rhyme or reason, but comparing a princess and the entire country of Qin, it was insignificant. Thus the Emperor of Qin let Huang Fuhao temporarily put the matter of Princess Ming An aside and form a good alliance with Ming Qi. When Huang Fuhao gotten the message from the Emperor of Qin, he started to enter the imperial palace of Ming Qi more frequently. One had the intention to strike an alliance and the other was worried that there would be no help, thus they clicked quickly and on the surface had joyous and harmonious relations. The relationship between Emperor Wenhua and Huang Fuhao had become much closer. Emperor Wenhua had the intention to support the crown prince and previously wanted to get Shen Miao to marry the crown prince, but who knew that he suddenly glimpsed upon Great Liang's ambitions and dared not take action with the Shen family. Now that Huang Fuhao came over, it was good to let Huang Fuhao have more interactions with the crown prince so that the crown prince and inherit the relations with Huang Fuhao. The matters in this world is inextricably linked. Normally the relations that would be even touched by a 8-foot pole, but now there were various connection. Intelligent people would find their usefulness in these relations, but normal people would be lost in it if they were not careful enough. In the residence of the Minister of Land, Shen Dongling was drinking tea at the moment. High-grade Yi King type of tea leaves, that was grown in the dangerous peaks of the southern country, that one small handful would cost a few hundreds of silver. Her posture when she appreciates tea was beautiful, and she was wearing the southern Jiang's brocade robes and had family bracelets on. She was very pretty and delicate, that when one take a glance, one would see that she was a charming woman that lived like a noble. No one would have thought that not too long ago. She was still a obscure Shu daughter of the Shen residents that would not leave the courtyard all year round, that even the servants did not know that she was a young lady of the Shen residence. Not to say when Ren Wanyun was the head of the household, there was not even oil in the dishes for 10 days to half a month. The difference from the past and now was like clouds and dirt. Human seeks one's way up just as water seeks its way down. Even though the residence of the Minister of Land did not look as powerful as other official families, it was considered to be very wealthy. There was no one that could live with only that little money from court. Before marrying into the residence of the Minister of Land, Shen Dongling had always thought that the Wang family was following Prince Shu, and only later learned that the real master of the Wang family was the crown prince. Being a minister of land but had such an abundance of wealth like this, it was not because the Wang family had some dealing with the salt smugglers, but the money would naturally flow into the residence of the crown prince, and these are only some feathers from a flying goose. Just these few feathers was able to let the family stay in capital without worrying at all. Shows how profitable the business of privately selling salt was. If one were to say that the matter of money was an unexpected surprise to Shen Dongling, then Wang Bai himself made Shen Dongling very satisfied. Wang Bai looked honest but was in fact savvy and was considered highly ranked under the crown prince. At the beginning Shen Yu did not look up to Wang Bai and did not know that it was her that had no eyes. Shen Dongling was born with beautiful looks, had a soft temperament, and the most important thing was that she could always make some suggestions for Wang Bai's matters. However, she would not interfere too much and would always keep a cautious distance. The more she did that, the better Wang Bai treated her. When marrying a wife, one would want to marry one who was virtuous, and besides being virtuous and smart, it was even more valuable for one also understanding other people's views. Wang Bai had felt very fortunate that Shen Dongling and Shen Yu had exchanged their marriages. The family of the Minister of Land only had Wang Bai, the only son, and Wang Bai was very capable that almost everything in the Wang family was decided by Wang Bai. Naturally, Shen Dongling became the matriarch of the Wang family. The servant would be very respectful to her, and if Ren Wan Yun was still alive, one feared that she would faint in anger. That Shu daughter that she viewed like ants was not even more comfortable than when Ren Wan Yun was in the beginning, and naturally Wan Yi Niang was like the boat that floats when the tide rises and lived a wealthy lifestyle. Today it was the same. Wang Bai came back from outside and handed the pastry in his hands to the maids before saying, "One passed by Guang Fu's eye and conveniently bought some cakes for you to eat. Husband is considerate." Shen Dongling smiled at him as she poured a cup of tea for him. Her every move was delicate and tender, most likely because she was after all a daughter of a Yi Niang. There would be some amorous feeling. She smiled as she said, "Husband looked very happy today. Is there something good that happened?" To Shen Dongling, Wang Bai did not hide most things from her because Shen Dongling was not one who would talk and could occasionally help to share his worries. Currently Wang Bai and Shen Dongling were newlyweds and would be in their honeymoon period. Wang Bai said, "His Majesty let Huang Fuhao have more interactions with the Crown Prince and most likely want to have good relations with Qian country. By giving the Crown Prince this favor, it can be easily seen that His Majesty wants to support the Crown Prince. When man attains the Tao, even his pets would ascend to heavens. We are the Crown Prince's people, so when the Crown Prince ascend to the throne in the future, we would have credits for our efforts." He smiled towards Shen Dongling. "Do you think it should be celebrated?" Shen Dongling's mind turned and immediately showed a surprise happiness expression. "Really?" Afterwards she looked at Wang Bai with some admiration as she spoke softly, "Husband is really powerful. It is this one's past fortune to be able to follow husband. To be looked with such admiring gaze by a charming and seductive female, any male's vanity would be greatly satisfied." Wang Bai smiled, "This is easy to satisfy." He then sighed and spoke with some regret, "If a while ago, His Majesty bestow marriage upon 5th Shen young lady to His Highness the Crown Prince would have the military power of the Shen family and it would be more advantageous. If so, then our winning chances would be even higher. Now even though one have some relations with Qian country at the moment, in terms of military power." He sighed again. "It is often the most important thing." Shen Dongling's mind turned and she conveniently leaned into Wang Bai's embrace and reached her hand out to place it on Wang Bai's chest and said tenderly, "Husband is too demanding on himself. To be able to do to this level, one would not be an ordinary person." This was exactly what Wang Bai wanted to hear. He smiled, "You are really contented?" "This key is contented with a man like husband." Shen Dongling smiled delicately and asked inadvertently, "Currently one cannot let 5th younger sister marry the Crown Prince?" "5th younger sister?" Wang Bai was startled before saying, "Almost forgot that you both are sisters." He said it unintentionally, but it was particularly sharp when it was heard by Shen Dongling, as he seemed to say that she was a Shu daughter while Shen Miao was a Di daughter, and there was a difference between Di and Shu. Humans' greed would change accordingly to the change of environment. In the past, Shen Dongling was busy ensuring her safety in the Shen residence and schemed for a good life for herself and could tolerate all the ridicules and sarcasm and would not have the energy to be picky about it. However, she was now the Furin in the residence of the Minister of Land, thus she was particularly sensitive to these things. She buried her head in Wang Bai's embrace and did not let Wang Bai see her sullen expression, but still asked, "It cannot be done?" "It is not that it cannot be done," Wang Bai said, It is just that Great Liang's ambition is difficult to make clear, thus many things need to be delayed as one still requires Shen Xin's reputation. It is just that Shen Miao is currently not young of age, and one heard that the Shen family is not willing to let Shen Miao marry into the residence of the crown prince. The key point of the matter is to resolve it as soon as possible. As time goes by, there will inevitably be changes, and Shen Xin would have found a marriage for Shen Miao and married her off. At that time, the crown prince's place would have fallen through. Why can't the marriage be firmed up first? Shen Dongling asked. Silly. Wang Bai said, the Shen family do not want Shen Miao to marry the crown prince, and Shen Miao herself also is not willing. If some tricks are used now, it would make Shen Xin dissatisfied. Isn't this bullying others with one's power? Shen Dongling's lips twitched. However, her words did not take Shen Miao into any consideration at all, and made the bandits who imposed others on their demands as the aggrieved people. It can be said like this. Wang Bai said with a smile. Then on what grounds they can use power to bully others but not let the crown prince bully others with power? Wang Bai smiled. The crown prince is virtuous and would not do such bullying. The crown prince cannot do these, but other can do it, just like ordinary people, those ordinary commoners. If everyone under heavens request fifth younger sister to marry to the crown prince, can this be considered as using the power of the commoners to bully others? Wang Bai initially thought that Shen Dongling was saying words of anger, but who knew that when he heard what was at the back, his expression gradually became serious. He looked at Shen Dongling as Shen Dongling sat in his embrace charmingly, as if those words she said were just casually done. But Wang Bai was an intelligent person and could hear some details in Shen Dongling's words, thus he asked, "It could not be that you have thought of some ideas? Let's listen to it." Husband is really crafty. What benefit if I were to speak of it? Shen Dongling asked. Wang Bai pretended to think about it. If it is good, then I will think of ways to request an imperial mandate for you. He was thinking that if Shen Dongling really had a way to get Shen Miao to marry to the crown prince, then he would have made a big achievement, and in the future when the crown prince succeed the throne, he would be grateful for it. There would not be any loss to ask for an imperial mandate for Shen Dongling. When Shen Dongling heard of it, a glimmer of satisfaction appeared in her eyes. She said, "I'm not doing to be a mandated Furin, but for husband. Whatever husband wants to do, naturally this key would support. Husband wants to help the future monarch, and this key is just a little female and can only show one's inadequacy." The playfulness she used while speaking was even more pleasing to Wang Bai's heart. Actually, this method is very simple. One only need the crown prince of Qian country to cooperate, she said.